I'm Dana B. Thank you for tuning in to my channel. Let's get started.
Alright guys, thank you so much for tuning in. So you're going to go ahead and open up your Phonto app. And you're going to go ahead and go to plain images. You're going to select your plain images and then you're going to press the upload button and you're going to go ahead and use. We're going to go back to this blank screen and you tap it and it says add text. You're going to go ahead and add in what you want to put. I'm going to put in Juicy Dana. That's me. Alright, and once you got your letters in there, you want to select your font. You can go through the fonts or whatever, whatever you like. You're going to go back and you're going to pretty much make a copy. Just slide that little board over, and where it has like 2 pieces of paper, you're going to pretty much copy it. I'm going to change the colors of these so you can see it, but I'm just going to go ahead and go to Style. I'm going to go to Stroke, and that's where you're going to get your shadow. I like to go ahead and pretty much make it really thick. Sometimes I like those spaces in between, but most of the time I do not. So we're going to go ahead and make those thick for your shadow. I'm just going to move up the width a little bit. It normally goes to 3, but I like to move it up a little bit thicker. And then the colors at the top, that's pretty much how you could change your colors as well. Alright, and once I have that, I'm going to go ahead and just go to the regular copy that I've already made. And I'm just going to make that text black so you guys can see the letters on that. And we're going to go back. Alright, and you see how that lines up perfectly? That's exactly how your image is going to come out. So I'm going to go ahead and separate those, and I'm going to go ahead and upload them to my photos and save. Alright, and now we're ready to go ahead and move on to our Cricut. Alright, now you're going to go ahead and upload your image into your Cricut design space. And you're going to go ahead and remove the background from where the names are on the page. I don't remove the spaces between the actual background of the letters, but I do remove the spaces into the actual like name that's going to go into the background. Alright, and once you get that done, just go ahead and save your image as a cut file, and you want to go ahead and upload that onto your Cricut design space. Alrighty, so now that we're in Cricut design space, what we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to get a shape, which is a square. You can go ahead and unlock that shape because we're going to go ahead and split those two. Select the whole and then just split it. You're going to remove the items that you don't have just so that those letters could be separate from each other. Now I changed the colors of the backgrounds just so it can keep me organized, I would say. And then I'm going to just put those on top of each other. You want to select the whole, because if you select the whole shape, it'll pretty much move both of those items. So if you want to make it 3 inches or 4 inches, the whole image would pretty much go. So what I'm doing, I'm making the height 2 inches and then I'm making the width 3.5 inches for the necklace. Alright, and I did go ahead and duplicate that so I could have some copies just in case something happens. Alrighty, so you want to go ahead and get your shapes together because you're going to make the circles to put the chain through. So you're just going to get 2 circles. You're going to make one smaller on the inside. And you want to make them pretty thick just so that they don't rip out. I like to make them thick. Alright, so you're going to go ahead and shrink that down to the shape. I normally like to shrink it down to what I like it to be, and then I'll go ahead and duplicate that. Alrighty, and once you figure out how you want to set your circles at the top and line them up, just make sure that they are even, because you don't want your chain to like hang at an angle. And then once you line them up, go ahead and send the circles to the back, and we're going to go ahead and get ready to weld. So go ahead and take just the lettering for the first layer off, and once that's complete, then we'll go ahead and just weld the circles to the background. Now go ahead and select the full image and make sure that it's highlighted. You're going to go to your actions and weld the image together. Now the circles are connected. Alrighty, now we're going to go ahead and start making the layers for the cardstock. So we're going to go ahead and make one layer. I'm going to change the color to the layers in the middle to black, because I'm going to put those in black cardstock. I'm going to make 6 of those copies. Normally, that's a good thickness for the cardstock. The front, I'm making the front piece and back piece is going to be like a silver. So I'm going to go ahead and make those like a gray color. Alright, and for the second image, you definitely want to make sure that you flip that, because it's going to be your back piece onto your nameplate. Alright, now that we are done with the name necklace plate, we're going to move on to the earring name plates. You don't actually need the hoops on those, so we're just going to go to our copied version, select it all together, and pretty much size it. Okay, it looks like I made the height 2 inches and the width 2 inches as well. I'm going to unlock that so I can get the 2 inches for the height and the width. Okay, and now I'm just going to do exactly what I did with the necklace pendant. I'm going to go ahead and make my layers. And here we're just going to go ahead and save the project. You want to go ahead and save it. Normally I save it to my iPhone since I use my phone all the time. But that's pretty much it that you'll need for your Cricut. You want to go ahead and make it. And once you make it, I'll be right back. Alright, so since you've cut your pieces out, this is pretty much how they're going to look. This is my necklace, and I'm going to show you the earring pendants as well. Perfect. So we're going to glue together each of those 6 pieces. Alright, now once you glue them together, this is pretty much how they're going to look and how thick they're going to look. These are for the earrings. I'm actually going to put a gold cardstock as my background, and then I'm going to put silver letters. So here's my glitter cardstock. The glitter is very thick, so like when I touch it, the glitter kind of comes off. So I'm going to go ahead and Modpodge it down. It doesn't matter if it's glossy or matte. I am actually using matte. I'm going to go ahead and Modpodge that glitter black background down. To the earring pendants as well as I did to the necklace. Alright, and here I'm going to go ahead and just cover up that complete glitter black background with the Modpodge so that I could be sure once I go to put my UV resin on there that there's not going to be any loose glitters moving around on the pendant.
now while I put the Modpodge on there, I'm going to go ahead and apply the letters so that can dry together. You can see I have a juicy D, and then the A and A is together as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay that down. Looks like I'm just going in to make sure that it's sticking down. You want to make sure that it does, you know, lay down flat as well. So be sure to check that. Alright, and this should be your final look after you Modpodge it down, and just set that aside and let it continue to dry. Okay, and with the earring name plates, you want to do the same thing you did to the necklace pendant, so it'll be the same steps. Alrighty, and here is how your nameplate is going to look after that Modpodge is dry. And I'll be using my UV resin today that I did purchase on Amazon for $20 a bottle. This is 200 milligrams. So this is a pretty big bottle, and you can get this on Amazon for $20. Alrighty, now when I normally apply the UV resin, I apply it as if I'm writing the letters out on the pendant, and then I try to move it around as fast as I can. If you're using like a silver foil or gold foil cardstock, keep in mind that if you keep that UV resin on there too long and try to move it, it's going to create spots. And now I'm just taking my torch lighter and running it lightly over my pendant so I can get rid of any of those air bubbles. The UV resin light that I have, it normally cures up to 99 seconds. So I do run that about 2 times, and I put another layer on top. This one that I have here is actually a keychain I did for my mother with her father on it and his nickname. So I'm going to give that to her, but I did do 2 layers on the front and 2 layers on the back. Alright, and this one is actually me and my boyfriend, and I'm going to have that on one of my keychains. Alrighty, so once you've cured twice, 2 layers on your earring pendants and also your necklace, this is how it should look. Keep in mind we haven't did the back yet. We're going to go ahead and do the same exact thing we did to the front to the back. So this is how the front will look, and the back is not resined yet. It's just I put my Modpodge on there and it dried, so that's pretty much how it will look. Now we're going to go ahead and UV resin the back as well. Alrighty, and please remember to do 2 layers so that your work is secure. Also, if the resin is still sticky, just put it under the light a little longer. It just means that it's not all the way cured. And don't forget to get your air bubbles out. Alright, and you want to go ahead and take your pendants and get a black marker and just go around the white outline just to make sure that everything in the middle is going to have like that black background look, if that makes sense. Okay, and this will pretty much be your final look once you color in those white gaps. So I'm going to go ahead and do the earring pendant, and I'll be right back. Alright, so now since we have everything resin, I did go to Michael's and buy some chain.
And then I have my little, I forgot what those little circles are called that you just hook onto the chain as well. So I have some of those, but I bought those off of Amazon. So basically I'm just adding a chain to each end, and then I'm going to go ahead and put on the clasp so that you can take it off and put it on as you please. Alrighty, and here's your finished product for your necklace pendant. Alright, so now we're going to get started with the earring pendants. You're going to need some E6000 glue. That's the best glue to use for this project. Alright, so you'll pretty much find the placement that you'll like to put your earrings. Put the E6000 glue, and then you just want to press the pendant down and let that dry overnight. Alrighty, and here is our finished product. And I'll go ahead and take a couple pictures as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Dana B Customs.